Let's see. Mike, Virginia, you're on the Wilkow majority.
Hey, Wilkow, you love your 18 enumerated powers. Well, let me read the last one to you. It says to make all laws which shall be...
Is this the Mike from Virginia?
Yes, this is Mike from Virginia.
How you doing, Mike? Why don't you identify yourself so everybody knows who you are?
This is Mike Stark from Virginia.
Yes. Tell the rest of the story. Tell the story about the websites and the calling under the fake names and the fake locations and the showing up to the Hannity Freedom concert with the fake backstage pass and I got you thrown out. Tell the whole story.
Well, actually, if you want to spend the whole time telling the whole story...
Oh, no, because you see,
because
liberals like to think this is a fantasy of people like me, that there aren't people out there calling under fake names and fake locations that can't just come at you and say, hey, this is who I am and this is why I'm calling.
Andrew, what's my name?
Mike Stark.
And what did I say my name was?
Yo, you did this.
My name is Mike.
I'm just okay. We're all clear, Mike. I got it. Go ahead.
All right. So back to the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
To make all laws which shall be necessary and proper for carrying into execution the foregoing powers, your other 18 enumerated powers, and all other powers vested by this Constitution in the government of the United States or in any department or officer thereof. Meaning, the General Welfare Clause, through the Necessary and Proper Clause, allows for taxation and spending on Social Security, Medicare.
That's not true. That is, it says foregoing powers laid out in the Constitution. Mike, it says right there. You just read it. And the way you read it was eloquent. You just said that the government is limited to the powers within the Constitution and its departments, like the Department of Defense. The Constitution is clear, Mike. What?
Department of Education?
There is no Department of Education. Where do you see a Department of Education? Where do you see an enumerated power? Where do you see an enumerated power for the federal government to create a Department of Education?
Okay, I'm going to read it nice and slow for you.
Mike, don't do this thing. I know you got your little law degree and you think you're the smartest guy to ever get a law degree because you're the first and last attorney that's ever going to practice law. I understand that. The Constitution is clear. You can dip it in tie-dye all you want. You could wring it out. You could get it to say what you want. The bottom line is we know the original intent. We know what the framers stood for. We know that there's organizations like the American Constitution Society that puts up people like Goodwin Liu who believe that the language is constantly evolving because they can't possibly exist in a world where the government as they desire is limited in any way, shape, or form. I got this, Mike. You've been doing this. We've been doing this dance for 8 years now.
Listen, I'll dial it down if you will.
Go ahead.
What I learned in law school is that the founders were prescient enough. They actually were the incredible people that everyone says they were. They saw the future, and they saw that, things advance in the future. So they left the Constitution purposely ambiguous.
No, they did not, sir. They left the amendment process. They left the amendment process whereby which you need 2/3 of the House, 2/3 of the Senate, and 3/4 of the state to move federal power. You know that, and I know that.
What I won't do is tell you that you're wrong, because there's an absolute conflict here. Some people of goodwill and good faith believe what you believe. There are plenty of people.
It's not about believing, sir. It's about the law being clear. So, okay, let me try this with you. Did George W. Bush ever act unconstitutionally?
Yeah.
Well, how could that be? Wait, no, how could that be? How could that possibly be? There's nothing to restrain him. If the government can do whatever it wants, how could he have been unconstitutional?
Andrew, it's almost unfortunate how much you and I can agree on things if we'd get past hating each other a little bit. But
I don't hate anybody, sir. It's just funny how all of a sudden the government can't be unconstitutional when just in the last administration it did nothing but act unconstitutional.
No. I think a lot of the stuff Obama's done has been unconstitutional as well.
You must be really burned up over the Libya. You must be really burned up over the Libya thing.
Oh, I'm angry over Libya. I'm angry over Afghanistan. I'm angry over the continuation of torture. I'm angry over the abdication of his role as executive in terms of prosecuting people on Wall Street and prosecuting people from the previous administration.
What about illegal immigrants?
The government bailouts. The illegal immigrant issue I see as a big red herring. I think that's a typical kind of all-American issue where people need scapegoats.
Wait, so
when life gets tougher,
So wait, so Mike, so Article 4, Section 4 of the United States Constitution isn't clear?
I'd have to go back and look it up.
The United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government and shall protect each of them against invasion.
Well, I mean, if you want to, I think invasion even then had the idea of people coming over borders with guns. Because I'll tell you something.
They are.
They did come over the border from, well, Mexico wasn't there then, but people did come over all sorts of the United States borders and settle here. Back then, back when the founders were around. And they didn't call it invasion.
Well, here's the thing. Third enumerated power, let's see if I get this right. To establish a uniform rule of naturalization. So that means when they pass laws on immigration and naturalization, they are in fact the law of the land.
Sure, I'll buy that.
It's not whether or not you buy it, Mike. This is the thing.
It is
look, no, here, Mike, here's the thing. You and I have been doing this dance since my days at WGY, okay? Your nickname was Commie Mike back when it was kind of a fun thing for you to call in. And then it kind of got a little bit more tense, and you came down to the radio station and all this other stuff that you did, trying to sort of, I don't know what you were doing, be a performance artist. I don't know. Just once, I'd like to hear from someone like you, you know what, this is the world I wish we could have, but unfortunately there are things in the Constitution that limit my beliefs. Here, I'll do this one for you. Do I think marriage is between a man and a woman? Yeah. Is there any power in the federal government to do anything about marriage? No. The state of New York voted in gay marriage, and that's the right of the state of New York under the 10th Amendment. Do I agree? No, but I live in New Jersey, so it's none of my business. Can you just do that once?
Sir, I've done that with a ton of things, mostly surrounding wars, mostly surrounding torture and cruel and unusual punishment. And I hold Obama to the same account that I held George Bush to. Honestly, I think Obama has...
You should be more let down because Obama promised to stop all this stuff.
Listen, don't even get me started on Obama. He could have been one of the greatest presidents in history. He took his mandate and played footsie with the Republicans. He's been one of the weakest presidents in history.
Well, that you and I can agree on.
I am starting to believe that he can go down in history as bad as Jimmy Carter. As for what he's done to the Democratic Party, I mean, what's ended up happening is all these people that voted for him on a platform of hope and change, thinking that he was really going to make a difference, they're saying that all politicians are the same. And it really doesn't matter who you vote for because the same bankers get the same bailouts no matter who's in power. And it's disgusting. I mean, there's nobody being held accountable in this country except the little people. Only little people go to jail in this country, and there's something wrong with that.
Okay, well, listen, Mike, I think I gave you plenty of time, all right? I'm sure I'll be listening to Hannity on the way home. I'll hear you call in there, too. I'm sure.
Every now and then.
Just at least give me the credit. When you do call Sean and you talk about the Freedom Concert, just always remember who was the guy that got you kicked out.
You want me to mention you on his show?
Nah, it's all right. I think we all know.
All right.
You have a nice day, Mike. Thanks for calling. 1-866-95-PATRIOT. We're right. They're wrong. That's the end of the story. We'll take a break here. Sirius XM Patriot.